For Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, I'm Ben Dryden. Fitzy, a bill, if passed, would see Wisconsin having an official state drink. Thoughts?
And I'm Chris Fitzgerald, and I think it's a time for Mountain Dew to get recognized on this show. I don't care about the other drink.
Yeah, well, I think you had alcohol in the state drink.
Yeah.
I think it's an old fashioned, which I don't know what that is. Oh, you're all blurry. What's going on?
It's not me. I'm all disconnected.
It's not me. All right. Yeah, I think it's an old. I think it's an old fashioned, which I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's fashion or fashioned. But I think it has. Apparently, there's controversy around this because everything has to have controversy.
Why not?
Exactly. And I guess in Wisconsin they make it with, I think, brandy or bourbon, and I guess everybody else uses the other one or something. I don't know. But what's the difference? I mean, seriously, whiskey, brandy, bourbon, scotch. It's all the same, right?
Right. When we just stick to the good stuff right here.
The Mountain Dew. I should do a taste test next week of all four of those drinks. And we probably want to do it at the end of the show. Because if we did it at the beginning, I'd be like, Governor Rivers is a bum.
He's coming here Friday.
Is he really? Well, I definitely won't do it.
Main Street's opening.
It's been close. All right, we'll get to that. Hey, welcome to the big show, everyone. It's Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe that it's the little things that make a big difference. Give Brian a call today and see what they can do for you. 715-520-2271. Dirk says Coke is better. Yeah, I don't know what's in an old fashioned, by the way. I have no clue. I mean, not just the alcohol part, but you mix it with something, I suppose, right?
Brandy and old fashioned. I don't know.
Brandy and old fashioned. Clearly, we don't know our spirits
Clearly, we should
very
be
well. Hey, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about law enforcement's critical incident review that had concluded. You had talked about it last week. You put it out, I think, on Wednesday or Thursday. We have an insider story. Want to get your thoughts on Turtle Lake man charged following DCI investigation into child pornography. And we also have two submitted viewer questions. One's regarding the judgeship in Barron County, which we've talked about before, and something about pedestrian awareness. But as always, we begin with sports. Michigan, we talked about it again this last week as well. Michigan's Jim Harbaugh has now been suspended, I think by the Big Ten, not the NCAA, for coaching during games for the last 3 games of the season. Is this punishment too light, too harsh, or just right?
I don't know. Because you're not supposed to punish them until the investigation is complete. And supposedly they've submitted now that other teams have done this too. And so now they've set a precedent that you've got to, if it's true that they find that whoever, Illinois was doing this or Wisconsin or Minnesota, then you got to suspend their coach for 3 games. And so, I think the coach, ultimately it stops at his door. Maybe he knew about it. Maybe he didn't. Doesn't matter. I'm fine with the punishment because I think but I also think you hold signs up and signal steel. With today's technology, you can videotape a game. You don't have to go to the game and watch it. You can watch every view of an angle of a game, on, Eli and Peyton do the Monday Night Football thing. They watch different angles. I mean, you could steal signs all day long, I think, if you wanted to, just sitting at home. So I think it's a little crazy, but don't do it, Michigan. You're better than that.
Well, there's Jim Harbaugh has come out and said he's going to attend I don't know what it is, a court something on Friday.
A restraining order hearing to stop him from or let him coach.
Well, yeah, and he said, "I'm gonna talk." Now, I can think of 2 words every time I hear "I'm gonna talk," and that's buckle and up. Because this is a Michigan story, it's a Jim Harbaugh story, it's kind of a college football story, but depending on what he says, I mean, is this going to be like the Jose Canseco book? Hey, I was busted for steroids, now I'm ratting everybody else out. Is it that or is it not? This could turn into a national story depending on what happens on Friday.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know. So, hey, Brian's bought a new building. Maybe we can have our studio there. He bought a new building in the corner.
Shut up.
Yeah. right on some main road. We can put a big Dryden wire sign up, and we can have a studio right
Brian, I'm
at
calling you
Brian's.
at 9:16 this morning.
That's right.
I'll be calling 1 minute after our show's finished. I'll be calling to find out.
There you go. So, what do you think about Texas A&M Jimbo Fisher? They fired him, and they got to pay him $76 million. I mean, that'd be just awesome. Like, I suck at my job, so I'm just gonna take my paycheck and go home.
Yeah, how much would it? How much would you take
To quit
if
doing my
Barron
job.
County, to just not be the sheriff anymore? What's the amount for you?
Yeah, about 6 years of pay, I'll do it.
6 years of pay. Yeah, they're gonna be paying him. Yeah, so all right, going back on like the thing before about 2 words, which is buckle up. I'm gonna use 2 words for this situation, and that is shut and up, and that is directed towards the presidents of these conferences, the powers that be who run college football. Because if you remember, couple 3 years ago, before they started the NIL, the name, image, and likeness, which allows these student athletes to actually make some money on their own. But before that happened, college, a lot of people were saying maybe you should start paying some of these college players. And their pushback to this was, yes, college football makes a ton of money, but that money then goes to all the other sports that don't make any money at our college. And we're all like, yeah, that makes sense. Here's the thing, never again. You can never, ever, ever bring up money again and say, oh, no, woe is me, and these contracts with TV deals is too high. You just spent $76 million for a head coach to not coach at your school. That's crazy. So, no, shut up. That's my thought. What about you?
I agree 100%. I mean, you just can't pay that kind of money and then complain shame on these colleges. It'd be like me saying, I set a contract for myself. I'm not going to run for sheriff next time, which I'm running, but I'm not going to run next time. But I'm going to sign a contract with the county that says they got to pay me even if I don't run. That's basically what they're doing. So
I know.
I don't get it.
I think they give them like $20 million right away, and then like $8 million through like 2031. Again,
Right.
you just pay. This is like college. You're paying someone $76 million to not coach.
Right. Yeah.
That's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
Right.
It's crazy. All right. Anything else on sports, or do you want to start getting to some of the other stuff we got going on?
I don't think that there's a lot of sports going on. Are you going to watch F1 this weekend in Vegas?
It's Vegas.
That's kind of
they spent $500 million to renovate downtown Vegas for this one F1 race.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna, and I love it. It's the second to last race of the year. This is the one. As soon as they announced Vegas, I looked at the prices, and we're talking several thousands of dollars for a ticket, and some up to $40,000. And I'm like, and guess I'm watching it on TV.
No, you can go there right now for cheap. It's not sold out. It's not. The rooms are cheaper. Yeah, there was a big article last night about it. So you can literally go there. You can fly out of Eau Claire.
Oh, hold on now.
Yeah.
I've never been to one. I've always wanted to.
The price just plummeted on these, and they're not making any money. It's going to be a disaster.
It's Positive Tuesday. It's Positive Tuesday. All right. We have a couple of things we have to get to, a couple of article stuff, and we actually had a couple of viewer questions. We'll get to that in 15 seconds after a word from Spooner Health.
Satisfaction surveys and in conversations with patients, they appreciate the fact that staff got to know them. Staff really took their preferences into account, and they just feel grateful that they are being cared for as a person.
To learn more about our services, visit spoonerhealth.com.
All right, so you talked about this last Tuesday. We had put up an article the day before that. It was a press release from the Barron County District Attorney regarding the officer involved shooting that resulted in the death of, I can't remember his name now. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I can't remember his name right now. But then you had said that now that was more from the criminality standpoint of it, looking at the officers and the deputies that were involved in this. But you are going to be doing a policy review, you and I think the Rice Lake chief. Mm-hmm. For people who didn't see it, our headline was Critical Incident Review Concludes. Officers at Riverside Arms Followed Policy Return to Full Duty. What can you tell us about that for people who didn't see that?
Sure. And that's what we do internally. And I saw some memes out there that says, I'm going to investigate myself and find me innocent too. And,
Nice.
But how else? I mean, who else is supposed to investigate our policies? But me, I'm the policy guy. I make the policies. I determine if someone gets disciplined or I don't. It's not up for public vote if an officer should get public or penalized for violating a policy of the sheriff's department. I write those policies. I enforce those policies. I do the thing. The district attorney reviews it and says, hey, did you violate a crime? I'm an independent person. So we brought out an independent sheriff, an independent chief, and independent our firearms instructors. Did they follow all the firearms rules of our policy of our department? And they were found to have not violated any policies, and they in fact went above and beyond and protected their life, the lives of other officers, and the lives of the citizens of Riverside Arms. So that's what was determined out of that. That's what we do out of that. There's been a lot of, as with anything, there's a lot of negativity towards it. Should have shot him in the hand. We should have used a taser. We did use a taser. He didn't stop. He almost stabbed my officer. He did stab other people in the building. I mean, this guy was, I don't know whether it was mental health, drugs, whatever it was, but the answer is we're going to go home at the end of our shifts, and we're going to keep our officers safe, themselves safe, the other officers safe, and the citizens that we serve safe. So end of story, end of topic. And that's just where we're at with that. And they violated no policies. They didn't violate a crime, and everybody's returned back to duty.
Yeah, and I think that's the important part. The meme that you just referenced, I haven't seen that, but it's a little off the mark. If that is what the meme says, because you're not deciding if this person or these individuals committed a crime, or did that's DCI, that's DOJ, that's the district attorney. These are all the people that do the investigation. And then of course the DAs. That's from the criminal standpoint. But yeah, you're right. When it comes to actually just now we just have to look at a policy thing. Who else is going to do that? You're not going to have if you work at I don't know, the Shell Lake State Bank. And somebody may have violated or done something wrong. The DA will look at it and say, no, there's no charges here for that person. What are they going? They will now have to look at the policy aspect and go, okay, for an employee, let's look through our handbook. Does this violate anything in here? What are they going to do? Like call RCU and say, hey, would you look into our Who else is going to do it?
I agree, but you know how people are. Everybody has an opinion about it in today's world on Facebook, and I shouldn't look at that, but I do, and that's fine. And I'm enjoying it more than I'm not liking it. So you got to enjoy it a little bit. And have
just do. Fun. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
Got to have some levity and laugh at some things, and you just do.
It's a serious topic. We don't want to use deadly force in any situation. No cop wants to go out and say, hey, guess what I'm going to do today? That is not something anybody wants to do because of the public scrutiny we get put under, the criminal act that we could get put under, and then the policy we get put under. No cop says, you know what I want to do to my life today? I want to really mess with it. I want to sit at home for a month, think about that, took somebody's life, my family's affected, my other officers are affected. No one wants to do that. We have to fill shifts for a month, and there's a lot more that goes into it than people think, and no one says, hey, guess what I'm going to do today? So
very good point.
And I think I need to be a little bit more upfront and frank when it comes to things like this and use of force. And don't get me wrong, do I think that cops are perfect? We've never said that on this show. I think cops need to be punished for things that they do wrong, and we've done that here. We've fired people, we've terminated, we've done everything. So when people do wrong, we handle it appropriately. So.
Yeah, and Brian brings up a good point. Cops need to protect themselves too. Let's not forget that point. We've just gone through, unfortunately, some deaths from our officers in our area, rural Northwest Wisconsin. Several of them now. What are we up to, like 4? Right. This year.
Right.
There's the other factor. There is, again, a knife going after someone. I'm not saying. It sounds like, according to all the reports and everything that I've read about it from these press releases, from the DA's release and et cetera, that this was a justified shoot or whatever that's referred to as.
Yep, justified.
But, that's self-defense. And think of the other aspect. What if they didn't, and if they're scared? Because that always concerns me. What if they get too scared, and in that heat of the moment, all their training goes out the window, and they go, oh, but I don't know, because people aren't going to like the fact I shot this guy that's coming after the knife. And then you don't do something, and that person either kills you or harms somebody else. Now, all of a sudden, you got a whole bunch of stuff going on in your brain when it's like, no, just follow your training.
Right. And this guy, I saw the video for the first time on last week, and this guy, Anyway, it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Okay.
The video is not going to come out right now because,
I don't need to
again,
see
I'm
the
dealing
video.
with something where, well, and people
Yeah.
want to see it, and people think there's a cover up because we're not releasing it. Guess what? If you don't threaten the cops' lives, everything gets released. But someone's out there threatening our cops' lives, and that's not okay with me. And I'm not releasing the video because of that. And DCI is the one that releases the video. I don't really get to say. I've been pushing to not get it released to protect our officers
Yeah,
and their
I
families.
wouldn't. I don't think there's a need for it, to be honest.
Well,
Unless that now would be different. I think if this was a not justified, like after the investigation, or if they're charged now, okay, I got no problem with it. But if everybody's
I'm
found
okay
to be
with
doing, they're all on the up and up, then what's the point? What's the virtue in doing it?
Right. Well, but because it's a public record and because we are in the public limelight, it is okay. But
All right,
you
fine.
can't release it when it might put an officer in danger. So
That's true.
And if we don't have the threats, everybody's seen the video and everybody not one person is questioning it. And I'm happy we have body cam footage. I'm very happy. It was very clear cut. But and hopefully I don't think the video is going to come out. Hopefully it doesn't because we need to protect our officers and their families.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes down to. Don't threaten cops' lives then. And that's what is being investigated now. And there's a new investigation. And that's why we can't release certain things that Chief Rue and I said we can't release, because there's another investigation, not done by my department, not done by his department, done by another independent agency to make sure that these are true and these threats are validated. And then someone will probably be charged. I don't know where they'll
Good.
be charged. Yeah, exactly. Good.
Yeah. And by the way, Kirk did put up, there is no cover up. People need to chill. Do you think because of his job, he uses words like chill because of the weather
Yeah,
stuff? I wonder.
I think so. But
his
it's not going to
brain-
be very chill. It's not going to be very chill this week. It's going to be very warm.
Well, we'll wait till his update. I talked to Dirk yesterday. We had like an hour-long phone conversation. I hadn't talked to him in a while. No kid.
Yeah.
Dirk Miller is just an outstanding human being. That dude's legit. I like him so much. Well, this leads into the second thing in the press release under our press releases and articles before we get to a couple of viewer questions that were submitted to us. We had an insider story yesterday. Their headline was Turtle Lake Man charged following DCI investigation into child pornography. I accidentally only printed a part of it.
Well, I have it up here.
Okay, yeah. So I have the intro here that the criminal charges for possession of child pornography have been filed against Frank Killa, K-I-L-L-A, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, age 57 of Turtle Lake, after he was arrested in the culmination of an investigation by the Wisconsin Department of Criminal Investigation. The Turtle Lake Police Department provided assistance to DCI. And then all I really had was the bottom part somewhere was he had appeared in a court hearing earlier, I think it was the end of August. While in custody, Judge Maureen Boyle ordered a $5,000 signature bond for him. Now, granted, I don't know. We always talk about these bond stuff and kind of where we are in this. This was images and graphics and stuff, so maybe that kind of takes it down a level. What are your just overall thoughts when you read this? Like, you're happy with, one, we busted him, and you're okay with the signature bond. What are your thoughts and feelings about it?
I don't know enough about the guy's history to have a good. I think a signature bond is there's some mandatory minimums to this, so I don't think a signature bond is appropriate. But I don't know the history of this guy. This isn't our case.
Yep.
I was there that morning in Turtle Lake because there were several DCI agents. We were doing one at the same time. Blah blah blah. We had a lot going on that day. I remember this one. So I don't know the history of it. I don't think with mandatory minimums that they should be signature bonds, but obviously he hasn't violated since August 30th, so I guess that's good. So maybe the judge is right, but I don't know.
Yeah, and we do have to always remember that these bonds are not sentences. And just for an update, in case people didn't read it there, he has been charged with 6 counts of Class D felony possession of child pornography. He appeared most recently in October, so just last month, and Judge Boyle heard testimony from a DCI special agent on the case and found probable cause to bind the charges over. So now he's scheduled to appear again, actually in a few days. So it looks like this is all moving along, which ultimately that's the goal. Which actually brings me to one of the questions that was submitted to us. This one was actually just this morning, and we've talked about this in the past, about the judgeship in Barron not being appointed, somebody not being appointed there. And this was what was sent to us. Judge Babler was interviewed by the Leader Telegram about the ongoing impact of Governor Evers not appointing a judge to replace Judge Bitney. What is the ongoing impact on jail and law enforcement. I'm assuming that's for you.
You know, I don't know. We haven't seen it yet because the judges have been doing a good job. We have a reserve judge. I think that there'll be some delay and maybe some hearings. It's possible that, instead of setting a hearing for 2 weeks from now, it gets set for 4 weeks from now. So you won't see a delay until a while. I say the governor appoints somebody January 3rd or 4th. Obviously, when there's only going to be, unless two people run.
As of right now, there's just one person that I'm aware of that is running. Now, they could be other people that are going to still. They don't have to announce it. They just have to, get enough signatures, right? Take out papers.
You can't collect the signatures till December 1st anyway. So
you only have a month. So there could be more, but you're saying that January 3rd or ish or whatever, the day after the deadline.
Person. Right.
And if there's only one person, then just appoint him.
If he doesn't, I'm going to call his office and say, why not do
shocked.
this? Right. It'd be a dumb move for him, in my opinion, but, I guess it's politics, so who the heck knows why these things happen. To be honest, there's no reason why, if he's that serious about it, he's not appointed now and takes the chance on winning the election. But that's the politics of this, and I don't like it. So I don't think, from a jail standpoint, there shouldn't be a delay. We won't see the delay for a month or so, but maybe if we can get somebody by January. Obviously, he's not going to January 3rd come here and start making decisions because he's going to be the first-time judge, so he's got to get some training. It's not like hiring a cop. We spend 4 to 10 weeks training cops before we put them on the street by themselves. So there's a training curve here that's got to get answered, things like that. So, I think right now it's Sam Lawton. So, and Aaron Marco is not in the running anymore, Brian. So, but Sam Lawton is, and so.
I don't think. Well, in terms of the running, again, there's only one person that is announced. I believe there were 5 people. We've talked about this, so we won't rehash all of it. But I believe there was at least 5 people, 5 for sure, that did. And I don't know if DA Marco was one of them. I've heard that, but I think that was more of a scenario. I think that was the one I had referenced before. I think that was Aaron. That it was the governor's office had actually contacted him, if I'm thinking of the right person, to ask, hey, would you put, throw your name in the hat here, because they actually appointed him as a DA several years ago. I think that's who that was. But, yeah, if there's only one, and I guess we really won't know until, December 31st, when they have to, or January 1st, when they have to have their papers in with their signatures and et cetera. Maybe we should get
which is a lot. There's a lot of people running. So county boards are up, city councils. I was at the chamber meeting this morning. That's we were late. City councils are up. Mayors are up. So there's a lot of local elections. So if you really want to get involved in something, now's your chance to run for county board, city council, mayor of your city, whatever. So a lot of unique races start December 1st. All 29 county board members in Barron County are up. So you could have all 29 new people. It won't happen, but we'd be lucky if anybody runs against anybody. There's not many contested races anymore because no one likes the politics of it anymore. People don't like to be Facebook and memes made about them and everything that's done about them. Any decision that they make is,
under a microscope. Yeah.
Right. So,
and honestly, 29. I've said that about Washburn. We have 21. So you guys are like 3 times the size of Washburn. So that would mean if you prorate or if you divide that out, that would be what, 43 supervisors on the county board in Barron County. That's dumb. We need 11. I understand 15 would be fine. Let's start at 15. And I understand there's some challenges there with then if we have that fewer, then how are we going to do our committees and people assigned. Right. I understand there are some challenges there, but these jobs don't pay much. They put meetings at 10 in the morning on a Tuesday. Right. So who can actually take a lot of these jobs? But you're 100% right. I would love to see races that were competitive races in our county board because it starts with the city council. Then it's the county board. Then it's, honestly, no kidding, sheriffs, DAs, and judges. In this order, some of the most important, these are the ones we want to see. Then it's the assembly. Then it's the Senate. Then it's the governor. Then it's the attorney general or whatever. But it starts locally, and we don't really see any competitive races for these when it's, Judge in Washburn didn't even have anybody running against her after she got appointed. DA, I think his is up. Aaron Marco, probably nobody's going to run for that. Like, nobody even runs for these jobs anymore.
Well, and we've talked about how important libraries are to communities. If you want to have the biggest impact on your library, run for city council. And, then you can have some impact. You want to give more money to them? Great. Then run for city council. That's where your local, and to be honest, city council members, I was just with the city council member this morning, said the city council has more power than the mayor, to be honest, because the mayor's only a tie-breaking vote. So you want to really run for city council. And you got to take some afternoons off or some mornings off to go to a committee meeting, but
around here, now I don't know about down there, but most of our cities, with the exception of Rice Lake, they're about kind of the same size, 2,000-3,000 for some. Mayor's races in these, mayor, come on, you don't really do anything. You're like you could do a lot of like PR stuff, but the mayor really just needs to show up like 1 hour a week and sign checks, and that's it. You just trust your people, let them do it. Now, some of them go to every single meeting. No, that's literally it. That's all they have to do. Now, a lot of them do want to go and to all these meetings, just so they're in the loop, and that's perfectly fine. But you're right, they actually don't get to vote unless it's a tie break. Right. But just trust your city administrator, trust your chief of police, have communication. But I would like to see more mayors, which I don't think we have anywhere around here, that are the PR for your city. I want to see that. People that are like a Sheriff Fitzgerald who goes on live shows and puts out press releases. Dude, I cannot remember the last time I've ever seen a press release from a mayor, with the exception of Kirk Anderson. Our friend Kirk in St. Croix Falls. He's put out a few, and that's awesome. Like, do that. There's a lot of great things happening in your city. Promote your city.
Right.
I don't know why they don't.
Right. Yeah, I think it comes down to time. But you're right. Technically, the sheriff only has to show up one day every 4 years. I mean,
right.
by
no,
law.
We're not recommending doing that.
That's not a good idea. That's the Chippewa County Sheriff.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's working.
Oh, poor guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so get out there, vote or run.
It's going to be a big election year.
I enjoy politics. You enjoy politics.
Yeah.
You've got to make it fun. You can't make it it's serious, but you don't have to take it just like my job is serious, but we have a lot of fun doing it. You got to make your life fun.
I agree. So the other question we had sent to us via our contact link on our website is, hi, could you and Chris bring up the topic of pedestrian safety, please? I am seeing people daily walking down county roads in county highways in the pitch black on my way to work. No flashlight or reflective vest. Maybe we can get this message out that this is extremely dangerous and we can make a difference.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
There, we did
Do that. Done. Next.
Next. No, it is because, and especially like last night, we went for a walk. Holly and I went for a walk last night after work. But by the time we got back, it was almost dark, and we left at 4:30, and it was, it gets dark by 5 o'clock. So you've got to be prepared, whether it's a flashlight, use your phone, the light on your flashlight, and just hold it in your hand. And so you're walking back and forth, you see something shiny, something as simple as that. You always walk facing traffic so you can see if the car in front of you. Now you bike with traffic, you walk against traffic. So that's how it works. But you want to walk towards traffic so you can see the driver. If he's not moving over, you can jump up on the curb or into the yard or into the ditch or wherever you want to walk. But it gets dark very early, so we've got to pay attention to that, especially when it's going to be 60 degrees this week for weather. You've got to.
Well, don't give it away now. Don't. Dirk's got a job. Sorry. He knows what he's doing. Here's the funny thing. So, also, a good reminder regarding pedestrians and at night, people with maybe a little bit too dark of tinted windows. I'm not naming any names.
That's right.
But I have noticed that I'll pull out of our alley, and if it's dark and I look to the left and the right, of course I'm going to see like cars with headlights. But I have to roll down my windows because I can't actually see. If you don't have a light on and there's a kid that's walking, I wouldn't actually see it because the windows maybe are a little bit too dark. So I'm actually thinking, I like the look of it, but no kidding, I actually think I might just get them I don't know how to do it, if they have to remove it and then put new ones on or something. But it's actually, even for people with tinted windows, be careful. When you get roll your window down and look just real quick because you're not going to see these kids.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just looking at some of my other things here. I'm just making sure there's no other comments.
There's one.
So
Just came in. We're several illegals. Just we.
that is not a true statement that
Oh,
I can come up with.
were. Oh,
Were. Yes.
yeah,
No, there
were.
is not. That is not a true statement. I have had two counties, my county administrator and I had a lengthy conversation about
What's
this.
going on?
Well, somebody said that the I can't think of the group name out of Eau Claire. They're bringing illegal immigrants by the busload here. And somebody said a busload of them were stopped in Barron County by a cop, and we didn't do anything about it, or something to that effect. And I know of no busload of immigrants, illegal or illegal, brought to Barron County. I've talked to our public health department. I've talked to our county administrator. Nobody knows about it. No cop stopped a bus full of illegal immigrants. There was a rumor that ICE only detained them for 2 days. ICE didn't. We don't have any ICE detainers right now in Barron County, so we're not detaining people. When ICE puts a detainer on somebody, they hold them forever. Either they don't detain them or they do detain them. So lots of misinformation. I really appreciate the question, because I got a call from Sawyer County. I got a call from Russ County yesterday. This busload of illegal immigrants that we stopped. And I'm like, I know nothing about it. And I know I keep my pulse to the ground.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. You got a pretty good pulse on Barron County. I'm just saying.
Right.
Probably wouldn't have aware of that one.
Busload of them, or put them in our jail for ICE detainers or whatever it was. But I'm not saying they're not here, but I don't know of any. I don't know. We have a housing. I'm part of our nonprofit housing projects. I know if there was an influx in people to our housing projects or our homeless shelter or whatever that is, I would know about that information. There's been nothing like that. So I'm not saying they're not coming. I'm not saying they are coming. I'm just saying they're not here right now. And that's all I can tell you about that.
Yeah. So, well, I'm glad you brought that up. I'd never even heard about that.
Yeah. But yeah.
Jeepers. All right. Well, that's all I had written down. We got a few more minutes. Dirk, if you want to, we may finish the show a little bit early, because I got to hurry up and call Brian Daniels and find out about this possible studio location.
That's right. He's got lots of room too.
Yeah.
So.
I want to find out where it is and what's going on. That's awesome. What are your plans coming up this week?
It's opening deer hunting, so good luck to all the deer hunters.
They've been hunting.
Deer hunting.
What are you talking?
No, it's the 10-day deer hunting. I'm going to go out and
How many different deer hunting seasons are there in a deer hunting season?
This is the one. This is the only one you got to worry about. Is Saturday at sun up. So
what were the other ones?
Bow and arrow, or whatever they call it, archery. Now you can shoot your gun, and then there's afterwards there's muzzle loader, and I don't know. I sound like I don't
Are you making this up? You're making this up. You are. There's not a muzzle loading season.
Yes, there is.
What?
There is, but I don't know what that means, but
well, I know what a muzzle loader is. Like the old school, put the powder down, put the bullet down, down into the barrel, which doesn't really seem safe. But there isn't. Come on. There isn't an actual season for this.
So wear your orange, dress warm, dress appropriate for the weather. Let people know where you're going into the woods, know when you're coming back. We don't want lost people in the woods. You especially want to know where you're going. Like I get you may be delayed because you got a deer and you got to drag it out of the woods, and your phone may not work in those situations. But let people know where you're going. And it's a big day. It's the best day to go from quick trip to quick trip. And visit people, because everybody's happy, everybody's together. Next Wednesday, we'll talk about it. Next Tuesday is a big alcohol night, because people are home for the first time from college and families get together. So,
wait, what? Next Wednesday, 20.
It's called Blackout Wednesday.
Oh, sure. I'm just now piecing it together. I see, for like Thanksgiving week off.
Right.
Wait, is it
next week is Thanksgiving. A week from Thursday is Thanksgiving.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I know. It's because there's no snow on the ground right now. We don't think it, and it's going to be warm, and Dirk must not be having his weather up there. So there it is.
There it is. It's right. It'll be warm, dry today through Thursday, high in the 50s and 60s. What? Winds today will be out of the south from 10 to 15 miles an hour. So a little gusty winds, a lot of leaves being thrown around. Cooler temps Friday through the weekend. Higher in the upper 30s to 40, remaining dry. Lots of sunshine this weekend. But it looks like the warmer weather is going to be this week. But still nice this weekend, but a little gusty. So
Yeah.
that's all right. I'll
We'll
take a
take it.
gusty with some. Yes.
There's no snow. There's no hunters won't like it because there's no snow in the forecast for hunting season.
Well, I
But
thought that'd be better for them.
no, you can't track the deer.
I don't know. I have to like just do some research on hunting. I
Deer
don't know
hunting?
anything about it. I just assume you wouldn't want. Oh, I see the tracks in the snow.
The tracks in the snow, the tracks in the blood. When after you shoot it, they go farther. You know,
Gross.
they don't just drop and gross.
No, kill the deer. So I stop. Yes, 100%. Thank you so very much, Amy. Yes, like I'm not anti-hunting. Like I don't want to kill. Like I'm doing. We're not doing great, but we're doing okay. I don't need to go and kill my meat to eat. I can just go to Economart. Who's an advertiser for this, by the way? So go to Schmitz's Economart for your meat. Yes and no, but I also don't want to hit them at all.
Right.
Oh, what now?
Lots of that going on. So.
School is out all week here at Northwood for hunting. Oh,
That'd
must be next week.
Next week, yeah. Lots of schools are out next week, and some schools only go 1 day, 2 days. Lots of travel next week. It's family week next week, so yeah, we might see some snow. Come on, Dirk. I don't want any snow. So
it's all right.
I know
Oh, again, Dirk, what a fantastic human being. That was like the best part of my day yesterday. Was an hour just talking to him. What a great guy. All right, anything else?
Talking to Brian, and then you have a new studio next week.
We could have a new studio somewhere.
Right. And maybe I can have a better camera next week. I don't know what.
Well, if we have a studio, because I can do this, like I'm doing it from literally my dining room right now, and I can put up stuff and soundproof things. So I can do these forever. But it would be really nice to be able to have, a table and a sit down, like two people, instead of like right now I'm looking at a camera. I'm not even looking at you. Like this is me looking at you, but it'd be nice to actually look at a person rather than a camera.
Well, he's got room. There you go. Get your checkbook out.
Get my checkbook. Oh, wait, you know what's coming up? We don't know if he's going to be our sponsor next year. Maybe we can make a deal.
Yeah, there you go.
Always thinking.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Mountain Dew pays us for our
state drink. Pound your Mountain Dew. And nobody ever did comment on what is in an old fashioned. Nobody ever did. Like, I have no idea. You had said it's with, like, brandy and an old fashioned. But I don't think that's a thing.
I'm not the guy to ask.
No, me either. I don't know anything about that stuff. But apparently it's, it is Coke. Oh, okay. It is Coke. That's it? Literally? Two things. Alcoholic drink and a soda. And how do you come up with old fashioned? Like a screwdriver. I know that one. Everybody knows that one. It's just vodka and orange juice. How do you come up with screwdriver? I mean, who comes up with these names? For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Give Brian a call today. His number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Fitzy and I are taking a 6-day, 23-hour, and 15-minute break. We'll see you next week. So until then, thank you for watching and have a blessed day.